There is something that happens to most of us as we get older. Something quiet. Something good. We stop spending so much energy worrying about what other people think of us, and we start thinking more about what we can actually give to the people around us. It is a shift that does not happen all at once. It sneaks up on you, and when it does, it changes the way you move through the world. Hello, my name is Al, Jeff's AI twin. Jeff brings over 45 years of experience as a financial advisor and success coach, focusing on what truly matters most in life, and translates those lessons into simple, practical concepts to help individuals and families build meaningful, balanced, and purpose-driven lives. One of the things Jeff talks about a lot is how the second half of life gives you a kind of permission that the first half rarely does. Permission to slow down and notice people. Permission to speak up when something kind crosses your mind. Permission to stop holding back the good things you see in others and just say them out loud. Today, we are talking about one of the simplest and most powerful habits you can build at any age, but especially as you get a little older. We are talking about encouraging the people around you, pointing out the best in them, offering a genuine compliment to a stranger, a friend, a family member, or anyone you happen to cross paths with on any given day. It sounds almost too simple to talk about, but stay with us because the impact of this one habit is anything but small. Jeff will tell you that something shifted for him as the years went on. When he is out somewhere, and he crosses paths with a stranger or someone he has just met, he finds himself naturally looking for the best thing about that person. Maybe it is the way they carry themselves. Maybe it is something kind they said to someone nearby. Maybe it is just a warm look on their face. Whatever it is, he says something. And almost every single time it brings a smile. Now he will also tell you honestly that doing that when he was younger felt a little awkward. You second-guess yourself. You wonder if it will land the right way or come across as strange. You talk yourself out of it before the words even leave your mouth. But somewhere along the way, that hesitation faded, and he has a theory about why. Maybe it is the grandfather look he seems to have picked up over the years. People tend to receive a kind word from someone with a little gray in his hair a lot more easily than they used to. He will take it, but here is the truth underneath that. It is not really about the gray hair. It is about the confidence that comes from knowing what matters. When you have lived enough life to understand that most of the things we worried about in our 30s and 40s did not actually matter that much, you get a lot more comfortable doing the things that do matter. And encouraging people matters. It matters more than most of us realize. Think about your own day for a moment. How many people did you interact with today, whether it was someone at the grocery store, a neighbor you passed on the street, a friend you texted, or a family member you sat across from at the table? Now ask yourself how many of them heard something genuinely encouraging from you. Not a pleasantry, not small talk, something real, something specific, something that made them feel seen. For most people, the honest answer is not many, and that is not because we are unkind. It is because we are busy and distracted, and we assume the people around us already know how we feel about them. But they often do not. Most people go through entire days without hearing a single word that truly lifts them up. That is the gap that you have the power to fill. Encouraging the people around you is one of the most underrated things you can do. It costs nothing. It takes maybe 5 seconds, and the return on that 5-second investment can last in someone's memory for years. You have the ability to be the best part of someone's day just by opening your mouth and saying something true and kind. That is not a small thing. That is one of the great privileges of being human. Now here's something important. Encouragement works best when it is specific, not a generic good job or a vague you are doing great. Those things are fine, but they slide right off most people. What actually sticks is when you name something you genuinely noticed. When you tell someone they have a smile that lights up a room. When you tell a friend that the patience they showed in a hard situation was something you genuinely admired. When you tell a stranger that the way they treated the person behind the counter said a lot about their character. That kind of compliment lands differently because it tells the person that you are actually paying attention to them. And being truly seen is something every human being is hungry for, whether they would ever say so or not. This connects directly to one of the 7 areas that Jeff believes shape everything in a meaningful life, and that is family. Not just the family you were born into, but the people you choose to invest in. The ones you encourage. The ones you show up for. The ones you remind of their own worth on the days they forget it. Pointing out the best in the people around you is one of the most practical ways to strengthen every relationship you have. And what matters most of the time in those relationships is not the grand gestures. It is the small, consistent moments of genuine care. Pointing out the best in people does something else too. It tends to draw that quality out even more. When you tell someone they are generous, something in them rises to meet that. When you tell someone they are strong, they carry themselves a little differently. When you tell someone their kindness does not go unnoticed, they tend to keep being kind. You are not just acknowledging who they are. You are quietly reminding them of who they can keep being. That is one of the most meaningful things one person can do for another, and it is available to all of us every single day. There is also a dimension here that goes beyond the people you know well. Jeff has found that some of the most powerful encouragement he has given has been to complete strangers. A word to someone who looked like they were having a rough day. A compliment to someone whose effort he noticed. A simple acknowledgement to someone who probably felt invisible in that moment. You rarely know which word is going to be the one that lands at just the right time. You rarely know what someone is carrying when they walk past you. So the best approach is simple. Look for the best in whoever is standing in front of you and say it out loud. Faith plays a quiet but important role here too. When you believe that people have inherent worth and dignity, it becomes natural to look for what is good in them. You stop leading with judgment and start leading with grace. That posture of genuinely wanting to find something worth affirming in every person you meet changes not just how others feel around you, but how you feel about yourself. There is a lightness that comes from being someone who builds people up. It is one of the better ways to live. Jeff often thinks about the people who encouraged him at the right moment. A word at the right time from the right person can change the direction of a day. Sometimes it changes something much bigger than that. A compliment you have long forgotten may still be living in someone else's memory, shaping the way they see themselves. You never really know the reach of a kind word. That is exactly why you should give them freely and give them often. You do not need a special occasion. You do not need to know someone well. You do not need to wait until you have something profound to say. You just need to look for the best in whoever is in front of you and say what you see. It is one of the easiest ways to make the world a little warmer, one person at a time. And honestly, in a world that can feel pretty heavy some days, that is no small contribution. What matters most of the time, is rarely the complicated stuff. It is usually the simple things done consistently with genuine intention. Encouragement is one of those things. Here are 3 takeaways that you can use right away. First, make it a daily practice to find at least one specific thing to compliment in someone you interact with. It does not have to be big. It just has to be real, and it has to be something you genuinely noticed. Second, do not hold back with strangers. The hesitation you feel is normal, but the grandfather effect is real. A kind word from someone who means it, with no agenda behind it, is almost always received with gratitude. Most people are just waiting for someone to see them. Third, remember that encouragement is not just about making someone feel good in the moment. It is about calling out the best in them and giving that quality room to grow. Specific, sincere words have a lasting impact that casual praise simply does not. If you are ready to get serious about living a balanced, meaningful life, this is your starting point. Our 7F's assessment walks you through the 7 areas that shape everything and shows you exactly where to focus your energy. Click the link below and see where your journey takes you. We will be uploading videos regularly to keep you encouraged and on track. If you are ready to take simple steps toward a better life, click like and subscribe to our channel. We also invite you to visit our website. The link is below. We have ebooks, audiobooks, and articles on this topic, as well as many others. They are a gift from our family to yours. Thanks for watching.